Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. It's meteorologist Brad Penovich with WCNC. A lot to talk about. The tropics getting a little more active. We've got a little low pressure system which could become a tropical storm today, briefly, Bill, off the Carolina coast, and the potential of some isolated strong storms. So let's get right to the vlog today because we've got a lot going on. First things first, we talked a lot about this over the last couple of days, and you saw me mention that I wouldn't be shocked to see a tropical or subtropical system form off the Carolina coast, and sure enough, this morning, here we go. We've got a very well-defined non-tropical low right now, but it's beginning to take on some characteristics of a tropical system. This is over the very warm waters of the Gulf Stream, so the potential that this thing is going to become a subtropical or a tropical depression or storm is now 70% likely. So you see that area in red. Now, this is the good news. It's moving away from the coast, but it's also going to help produce some big rip currents and some waves along the coast. So if you're going to the beach or you're going to be out there, I think the big rock fishing tournament's going on, this is going to pick up the seas and kick up the seas. But the good news is that is moving away from the coast. I'll loop it a couple of times, and I would not be shocked if we go this afternoon and this becomes a tropical system because it looks really well defined on the satellite imagery right now. And let's take a couple other little sneak peeks of this thing from some satellite imagery. And you could see it right there in the middle of your screen. I mean, that's got a big explosion of thunderstorms, or what we call convection. That's going to transition this thing over to the possibility of becoming a tropical system pretty quickly. Now, intensity-wise, you can see most of the guidance takes it up into the tropical storm range here in the next 24 to 36 hours. So, again, it could be one of those quick-name storms. Bill would be its name. I wouldn't be shocked to see that happen today. It's certainly a possibility. Also of note, we've got this area down in the southwest Gulf of Mexico. It has about a 50 to 60% chance of development. And then newly today off the African coast, it's way out there. I think this will be fighting dry air. Has about a 20% chance of development. So the tropics starting to get a little more active, but right now no immediate threat for our area. But we have a cold front heading our way this afternoon. And what's going to be interesting about this cold front, we are going to see at least a low-end risk for some strong, maybe even some severe storms. The threat overall is not huge, but you see this little arc. Basically, we had some storms last night that formed up here. They made it down to the foothills, but they left behind what's called an outflow boundary. That outflow boundary could be the focus for some isolated strong storms this afternoon. So you see that low risk for most of the Carolinas today. And let's look at the future cast to kind of see how this thing is going to unfold as we go into the afternoon. All right, so let's look at futurecast. You can see our tropical, non-tropical low moving off the coast there. You can see it moving away and likely gaining some strength. But look what happens across the Carolinas today. We see some scattered storms developing. Look at the time, about 3 o'clock. We'll go to about 4 or 5 o'clock. Again, not a ton of storms here, but in the late afternoon with that outflow boundary, we might see a nice little broken line of storms develop into the afternoon hours. And again, not a ton of storms like we saw last week. These are scattered, but the ones that develop today could potentially have some damaging straight line winds. Unlike last week, which is about flash flooding, this is going to be more about straight line winds. So you can see, I'll go back real quickly there. That's not a whole lot, but you can see right there. And look at the timing again. Up here at the top of your screen, 5, 6 o'clock, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon into the evening hours. Remember, the sun doesn't set till almost 8:40ish, so the peak heating right now is right around dinner time. And that tends to be when we see our storms bubble up. So right there, 6:58, you can see one over Rowan County and one down to the south. And again, so probably some hail and some straight line winds. These are going to have what we call downburst potential. A lot of dry air in the mid-levels, which will help produce that. There's our tropical entity, just to show you by tonight. That might be Bill moving off the coast there, heading out to sea and away from us. But you could see just strictly just going to get a name. Probably use up the B name here, which will be interesting to see. But that's what I'm watching for this afternoon. So let's go back and take a look at what's going on currently here. I'll turn everything off. We'll go back to the maps here, turn the radar on. We'll turn the satellite on. And you'll see there's our system right there spinning off the coast. So this will be interesting to see if this gets a name later today. That would be Tropical Storm Bill. Stay weather aware. Make sure you have the WCNC Charlotte app. We'll keep you up to date on any pop-up storms this afternoon. And I'll keep an eye on the tropics. We'll see if we get Bill named by later this afternoon.